I thought the debate tonight went fine. From my point of view, you always, with something like this, one of your goals is to make news. You'd love for, the most compelling moment of the campaign to happen during your debate, of course. But more importantly, did you ask questions that there's a pretty good chance voters wanted to hear the answers to? Did you do so in a way that at least had a chance of knocking the candidates off their prepared stump speech? Did you allow for the beauty of a debate to emerge, which is the spontaneity of it, the pressure of a live encounter, of being challenged, exerting some pressure on these candidates so you got to see how quick they are on their feet, how adroitly they can handle a challenge. Can they think outside of their prepared box? So on those levels, it was not the greatest debate ever in the history of debates, but I would say all in all, not bad. I was reasonably happy with it. And it didn't drag, and I don't think it was ever silly. So it avoided mediocrity, which is always good to do. My guess is that when it comes to what people will be talking about coming out of this debate and the stories that will come out, my guess is there'll be a couple of different storylines coming out of here. I think, well, several. I think one is sort of a generic storyline. Everyone understands that Martha Coakley is a clear front runner. Everyone's watching to see if she pulls a Shannon O'Brien circa 2002. Does she step in something? Does she make a mistake? Does someone get under her skin? Does she say something she shouldn't have said? So storyline number one will be, yet again, Coakley clears the hurdle with no damage. I didn't see her blunder tonight. I think the second storyline, and perhaps a more front and center for the daily press, will be Joe Kennedy, the independent candidate, really going after Brown, something he didn't do in the first joint appearance last night on WBZ Radio with Dan Ray, but he certainly did tonight. He was repeatedly attacking Brown and attacking Brown's record. That is a major new development because in no way is it good for Brown to have a candidate with no chance of winning to be hammering away at him. It lets Coakley sit back and relax. It chews up time. It's sort of the worst nightmare, really, for the Brown people. And Kennedy certainly is presentable, if not a highly polished candidate. He's not the worst candidate I've ever seen in these debates, by far. I think the third storyline is Brown continuing to fail to get the kind of traction he needs. He clearly has to go after Coakley. In this state, even though we haven't seen any polling, common sense and history dictates that he's a significant underdog in this race. So he needs to be the aggressor. And I don't think that tonight I saw him doing so in a new and interesting way, a compelling way, a way that broke through to people. He did a good job of making his case and drawing differences between himself and Coakley. And he wasn't, he didn't make a huge blunder of being awfully rude or pulling a Rick Lazio and, invading her space like Lazio did in his debate with Hillary Clinton in 2000. But I don't think he's found the way yet to get at her. And I was a little surprised by that because I thought in the radio program with Coakley last night, I saw for a fact, because I was in there, he started to kind of get under her skin a little. And tonight, I don't think he did. I thought she was cool as a cucumber throughout. So to the extent that he needs to do that, mission not accomplished. The most memorable moment I've ever had moderating a debate was in the 2002 governor's race, where I moderated the first debate that included all 5 of the gubernatorial candidates: Shannon O'Brien, Mitt Romney, Barbara Johnson, Jill Stein, and Carla Howell. And first of all, it was memorable because it was historic. It was the first debate for a statewide office in the history of the Commonwealth that included 4 women. And secondly, it was memorable because Shannon O'Brien blew herself up. And Not that it was a moment that marked the end of her candidacy, but as it turned out, it was a negative turning point for her campaign. I asked a question, again, submitted by a viewer, about how much you gave to charity in the last year and who did you give it to. And Mitt Romney said, well, you know, as a member of the Mormon Church, I gave 19% of my income to the church, and I also gave X to charities. And Jill Stein, I think, went next and talked about her charitable giving. And all Shannon O'Brien could come up with is she donated a lunch with herself to a charity auction. And given that she was the Democratic nominee, casting herself as the champion of the dispossessed and the needy versus the others, the cold-hearted others, she kind of stepped on her message a little bit right there. And I guess that was just memorable because it was the only moment I can really remember where you just sit there and you say, wow, I mean, this person just really made a mistake. And, you know, maybe she was just telling the truth, but sometimes in politics, the truth is a big mistake. My feeling about, first of all, about moderating a debate is it's not me interviewing them. I'm there as a moderator to get a debate started, see that it flows smoothly and is clearly understandable. I'm not there to play gotcha with them, to jump on them when I hear an inaccuracy. I want to see how alert on their feet the other candidates are. If someone's going to jump on candidate A for misstating something, I want to see candidate B or C do it, not a moderator doing it. That may prove to me, oh, that moderator's alert, but the moderator's not running for the office and not going to be holding the power. So it's all about putting these candidates under some pressure, letting them show what they've got. With questions from the public, I do it because every once in a while you get a gem that you didn't think of, and that's good. Also, it engages your audience and makes them feel, you know, as if they're participating, and that's a goal of mine.